Championship III, the greatest mind in professional wrestling today. And I'm telling you, you are on the channel, the place to be. That's right, Cole TV, baby, and you can take that to the bank. Ha ha ha!
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pro Wrestling 60, where we recap everything that happened this past week in the world of professional wrestling. I'm Xlj the OG, joined by my partner in crime, my brother from another mother, Mr. B. Rowe.
How are we doing out there, world? I know for many of you, happy week one of the NFL to all those who celebrate.
My game's tonight. The Bears.
But
fuck the Packers.
Football's back, and there's that. So
yeah, there's that.
So something else to keep our attention for a little bit.
Well, here you go. All you sports fans out there. But we were talking about professional wrestling, and it was another eventful week in the world of pro wrestling. So we got a lot to talk about. So let's get right into it. And B-Roll, I'll let you hit us with that sweet, sweet line.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best question is like, I need everyone to strap in and, need them to be ready because we're going to be traveling all over the world here again.
Literally. And we just ask if any of you catch a foul ball, please just give it to a child and don't be a bitch. And take it away. So there's another sports story for you. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yay, sports.
Yeah, that was nuts. No, that was... Way to be a Karen. Karen. All right, enough of that. This is PW60, where we're going to recap everything that happened in professional wrestling this past week. And I say the clock starts now.
All right, our top story this week, it's known about it for a long time, but it is official, folks. AEW pay-per-views are coming to HBO Max. That's right. So, and it's all going to start with All Out. Will be the very first pay-per-view simulcast on HBO Max. And we've heard like rumors of what the price is and stuff. So you're going to do the discounted rate. Looks like they're going to be $39.99 instead of your typical $49.99. So $10 in savings. I'm excited about it, just simply for the fact of, and we were talking about this last week, I pretty much anything AEW I'm watching on Max already anyway. I honestly am thinking of just canceling my cable and just going to the internet because it's like, what's the point, right? You can just stream everything. But are you excited about this? Do you really care? Is it kind of
I care because, I do have Max anyway. It's a subscription I pay for anyway, and even before AEW was on there. So AEW being on there, and plus with the pay-per-views, getting them $10 cheaper, it's just, it's an added bonus.
Yeah, would prefer if it was a little cheaper, but that's okay. Baby steps. But they're finally going to be available on Max, and it's all going to start.
Ultimately, we prefer if it was with the subscription, but
yeah,
I think
if I paid like $20 or something. I don't know. I'm trying to barter
those
here.
days are gone.
Yeah, I think you're right, brother. But it's all going to start with All Out. And the other big news coming out this week as well about All Out is the start time. We are starting in the afternoon as All Out in Toronto will kick off at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 Central. The old man in me is just like, thank you, God. Like, I am so happy for this. Like, I think we should just get in a habit. Let's just do afternoon pay-per-views. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
this is, I love it. I'm for it. I'm excited about it.
they say all the time, like Tony Khan even says, like AEW is for like the sickos, like the diehards, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
I think in general, I think we just need to start the stance of AEW is for the people. Like
Yeah. I like that.
like we don't have to put the pay per view starting at 8
I
o'clock
mean,
and keep you up till midnight.
right. And they're the elephant in the room. We know, obviously that day is going to be loaded with pro wrestling action, no doubt about it. But and people listen, the tribalism shit, we say it all the time, it's got to stop. Like, it is what it is, folks. Like, I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense. Why wouldn't you just do it in the afternoon? You're going to get higher probably pay-per-view buy rates because you've got a core there. Let's face facts, there's a part of your audience that is definitely going to be watching WWE's alternative that night. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But there's also the diehard fans who love both. And guess what? Now this is an opportunity. You can watch both. So, I mean, how freaking awesome is that, Because it's like you say, AEW is for the people. They're not a bunch of dicks like the other place. So, just saying. Like I say, I'm all for it. I think it's great, and I would love to see this continue to be a trend where we're just doing afternoon pay-per-views. So, it's crazy to me, B-roll, because it's like we went from like we were so custom as like a Sunday night pay-per-view to now. Then we were getting spoiled and doing Saturday nights, and now we're doing like in the afternoon. It's just like it's a beautiful thing. So I'm for it. Like I say, keep it going. Absolutely love it. But we are on the road to All Out, and quite a bit happened this week in the world of All Elite Wrestling. Let's talk about Dynamite from this past Wednesday night. Of course, still continuing their residency at the 2300 Arena. The show kicked off with Gabe Kidd, of all people, coming out, pretty much calling out Darby Allin. And because Gabe Kidd is the mercenary, remember, for the Death Riders. Of course, Darby doing what Darby does and was able to subdue Gabe Kidd. Tremendous opening contest for the TBS Championship with Mercedes Moné going up against Alex Windsor. Unfortunately, Alex Windsor would come up short as Mercedes would retain her TBS Championship. But we also got the return of Rio, the first AEW Women's Champion, who we haven't seen her in a little bit. She's been out due to injury, so she is back in the fold of things and will be Mercedes' next challenger. We're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. Also, we had Mark Briscoe was in action against Don Callis' family's Lance Archer as he's continuing his war with the Don Callis family. And tremendous matchup for the tag team championships as Bandito would successfully retain against the Death Riders. But I think what everybody's talking about is that main event, that all-star match main event with the Young Bucks, Kyle Fletcher, and Josh Alexander picking up a huge win against Jet Speed, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Adam Page. But the aftermath of what happened thereafter, B-roll, as the Don Callis family, those dirty sons of bitches have done it again, and they have put Kenny Omega on the sideline with a devastating brainbuster through the table delivered by Kyle Fletcher, the Proto Star. And, of course, Kyle Fletcher also delivering a brainbuster to Hangman Adam Page on some chairs. Like, the Proto Star came to play this week, man. Kyle Fletcher, holy shit, looking like $1 million. A lot of people talking about AEW right now because we know Ospreay's out and Swerve's out with injuries. We now know Kenny's going to be out for an extended period of time as well, it looks like. So there's this void in that main event scene, and like who's gonna step up? Who's going to be the next guy? I'll tell you this right now, B-roll. All signs are pointing towards the Proto Star Kyle Fletcher. Like I have been so impressed. We've talked about it's amazing his progression over the past year, and like especially where he's at right now. And this is a huge spot for him. How impressed were you with the Proto Star and the Don Callis family from Wednesday night?
Yeah, my first initial reaction was like, "Oh my God, they killed Kenny!"
You
Like,
bastards!
like yeah, like felt like a kid from South Park. But yeah, I mean, we say it. I feel like we're keep repeating it, but like it's two things. One, like Kyle Fletcher is like the fastest rising star that they have, and then two, like Don Callis family may be like the best faction in wrestling right now.
Oh yeah, I have no doubts about it. I mean, look at it. They got the TNT champion Kyle Fletcher. If your G1 Climax winner or in Takeshita, you have Okada for God's sakes, who has 3 championship belts. Um, I mean, the list goes on and on. You got Josh Alexander, Hechicero. I mean, dude, they're loaded. They are freaking loaded, and their next target is the AEW World Championship, which they would officially lay out the challenge on Collision from this past Saturday at the 2300 Arena. So pretty much Kyle Fletcher, he's your TNT champion, but he wants more gold. He wants that AEW World Championship, and he's laid out the challenge to Hangman Adam Page for All Out. However, before that happens, Hangman's got a big grudge match with another member of the Don Callis family this upcoming Wednesday, as it will be the Hangman Adam Page going one-on-one against Josh Alexander. But Collision had so much going on, and I mean, it was huge for setting up several matches for All Out. Of course, the show kicked off with a tremendous matchup with Jon Moxley and Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia, once again, coming so close to defeating Mox. Couldn't do it, though. And now Daniel Garcia kind of questioned himself. It's kind of interesting to see like where he's going to go from here, because it just feels like, I don't know, B-roll, like, it seems like he can't win the big one, you know? Like, where do you think he goes from here?
And you got the Deaf Riders in his ear, like offering to help him do what Deaf Riders
I
do.
mean, it would make sense, but I don't know. I don't know. We're going to see what happens with Daniel Garcia here in the coming weeks, but tremendous outing, though, nonetheless. Speaking of tremendous outings, man, we got to talk about the outing in the tag team division. How about Adam Priest teaming up with Tommy Billington, going up against FTR in a tremendous match? Of course, huge shout out to Adam Priest. We had the privilege of getting to work with him a couple weekends ago at the Schmitty. And what a showing he had on Collision, man, especially against one of the top tag teams in the world. I hope we see more Adam Priest and Tommy Billington as a tag team, because I was really impressed with that tag match. You're a tag team connoisseur. What did you think of that tag match?
I mean, I love my tag team wrestling. Um, I mean, FTR, they are FTR at the end of the day, but
Mm-hmm.
I will say I was impressed. I don't want to call them a thrown together tag team, but like
Well, they were in a
it's kind
sense, as
it's
far as
kind of
we
what they
know.
were,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. Two tremendous competitors. It's great seeing them get a really cool moment on Collision, and I hope that's just the beginning of many for them to come. Uh, I popped for this. Big Bill calling out Eddie Kingston. It seems like the Mad King may be back on his way to All Elite Wrestling. I can tell you, we were talking about guys and main event guys who can fill that void. I'm telling you right now, you get Eddie Kingston in there, have him beat Big Bill's ass, do whatever you're going to do, and then put him in the main event scene, because that's where Eddie Kingston deserves to be. Like, Eddie Kingston is naturally over. Love the Mad King. Did you see the audience's reaction just when they said his name in the crowd? Like, they panned to the crowd. That 2300 arena went nuts. Uh, I am so excited to finally get to see Eddie Kingston again. We've been wanting that for so long, so
You
it's
know
exciting,
what
man.
would be it would be a good, I feel like, fitting entrance if like he did like while they're at this residency, he gets called out again and then he does like a Sandman type entrance.
Oh yeah. Well, hey man, he's got a long history there in the 2300 arena, of course, with Combat Zone Wrestling there many years ago. So Definitely has a lot of experience working in the ECW arena. A big 8-woman tag match took place as well. The All-Star tag match, as they're calling these now, which they really are. But you had Triangle Terror teaming up with Megan Bayne to go up against Harley Cameron, Chris Statlander, Mina Shirakawa, and Toni Storm. Of course, Chris Statlander will get the win for her team. But the aftermath, as the Triangle Terror was wrecking havoc to everybody, going after Toni Storm, and then Jamie Hayter comes out to save the day. And it's kind of interesting because there's a history there with Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm that we all know about. And then Toni just saying, fuck it. You know what? I want all three of you. So she is officially challenged Chris Statlander, Tekla, and Jamie Hayter to a match at All Out for the Women's Championship. That's going to be a hell of a four-way, man. And then, of course, we got that main event at the end of the night. Holy crap. Takeshita and Mark Briscoe. That, as Jim Ross would say, was a slobber knocker, to say the least. And then, of course, at the end of it, you got a returning MJF, who literally cost Mark Briscoe the matchup. And now we know they're going to meet at All Out, too. So, man, oh, man, All Out is looking like a solid show. Speaking of which, let's run her down. So these are your official matches. But we have other matches to announce, too, of course. Of course, we know the CNC connection. I'm still not going to get used to that. Christian and Copeland going up against FTR in a Dream Tag Team match. Mercedes Moné will officially defend her TBS championship against Riho. Also, it's official. Jon Moxley will go one-on-one with Darby Allin in a coffin match that will take place at All Out. We mentioned, I don't think it's been made official, but it's going to happen. It's a four-way matchup for the AEW Women's Championship with where you're going to see Toni Storm defend against Chris Statlander, and of course Tekla and Jamie Hayter. And the AEW Championship will likely be on the line as well, with Hangman Adam Page defending against Kyle Fletcher, the TNT champion. Of course, as far as we know, that's not a title for title, so that's going to be interesting. Also, too, I'm trying to think if the TNT champion ever challenged for the AEW title at the same time. It's kind of an interesting statistic. You know what? I think Jack Perry did it. I think Jack Perry did it. Yeah. Yeah, but once again, just shows you Kyle Fletcher is bringing such prominence to that TNT championship.
I think it was that All Out, too.
You know what? I think you're right. Yeah, matter of fact, it was at the last one we were at. Small world. Also, we're going to get that trios matchup with the Gates, Vagney, and Ricochet going up against the Hurt Syndicate will take place as well at All Out. And also, it looks like oh no, that match isn't official. I'm sorry, but we were hoping for blood and guts, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen now. Which it is what it is. So, hopefully they do that like at some point with the ladies. So, but All Out. Oh yeah, and also MJF and Mark Briscoe one-on-one, which we're going to find out what the stipulation is for that here very soon. So. Stay tuned for that. But All Out's looking like a pretty solid card, my friend, and they're going to announce a couple more matches as well for that. Now, let's talk about the world of Stardom Wrestling, because they had a huge show over the weekend. Stardom's show To the World took place. A lot happened on this show. And of course, when it comes to Stardom Wrestling and Joshi Wrestling, we have to go to our resident expert. So let's go to the light-skinned Gaijin with a report on Stardom.
I feel like a kid in a candy store with all this great wrestling that's going on. So, earlier this morning in the States, last night in Japan, Stardom to the World took place at the Yokohama Budokan, where we've seen Sarai successfully defend the IWGP Women's Championship against Suzu Suzuki, Starlight Kid successfully defending the Wonder of Stardom Championship against Tomoka Inaba, and the Phoenix Queen Saya Kamitani successfully defending the Red Belt against the top Gaijin, B. Priestley. So now, the top Gaijin is successfully in the rearview mirror of the Phoenix Queen. So, you would think that all roads now point to the end of the year and Stardom Dream Queendom. Well, not so fast, because another woman who was able to successfully defeat Saya Kamitani during the tour of the 5-Star Grand Prix is making her claim for the red belt. That's right, the New Japan Strong Women's Champion Azumi has made her challenge known to the red belt champion Saya Kamitani. However, before Saya accepted the match, she was able to convince Azumi to put up her New Japan Strong Women's Championship in the process. Therefore, on Saturday, September 27th, live at Korakuen Hall, it will be the Phoenix Queen Saya Kamitani going one-on-one against Azumi in a winner-take-all matchup. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's champion versus champion, title for title. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason why I constantly recommend the promotion World Wonder Ring Stardom to you. The exciting matchups, the interesting characters, I mean, you really never know what you're gonna get. Killer.
Oh, that is going to be dope, man. And don't forget, you also got Momo Watanabe waiting at some point, too, as well, to get a title shot. So much going on in the world of Stardom. Thank you so much, Light Skin. We appreciate you, brother. And we had a lot going on in the independent world this week as well in pro wrestling. A lot of the bigger independent promotions running shows this past weekend. Of course, got to start off here and talk with House of Glory ran their show in Philadelphia this past Thursday. And it kicked off with one of the greatest matches I've ever seen, man. I mean, it was, God, the time limit was just insane. It was, the Crown Jewel title was on the line. Bully Ray defending against Silva Fatu, and I already know, I'm full of shit because I said Bully Ray. It was a whopping 23 seconds, and Silva Fatu is once again your Crown Jewel champion. I asked the question, fucking why did he even ever win the belt to begin with? Like, listen to me and listen to me closely. Fuck you, Bully Ray. Just stick to your fucking podcast and working for the Fed and sucking their ass, because that's what you fucking do. Like, fuck Bully Ray. Didn't need this. Good for Scylla. Glad you're the champion again. Fuck that Bill. Fuck Bully. Like, just be done with him. Like, I don't want to fucking see him anywhere. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little pissed just thinking about it. Because once again, what's the fucking point? Okay, we do this squash match, whatever. Yeah. Fuck him. Fuck Bully Ray. Sorry, I had to get one more on my system B-roll. Also on this show, you had in the main event was a tremendous matchup with Amazing Red going up against Cedric Alexander. It was an awesome matchup. I tell you, the match I enjoyed probably the most on this was for the tag team titles. It was, of course, YDMP, your GCW tag team champions, but they were challenging the House of Glory tag team champions. The main event. Have you ever seen the main event?
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
that's Cheeseburger and forget the other guy.
well, they're good. They're damn good, and I tell you, that was probably my
They're
favorite
fun,
matchup.
too.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun, and they retained their House of Glory tag team championship. So, of course, you can catch a replay of this show on Triller. Also on Triller, you can catch a replay of this. Wrestling Revolver held their Clean Slate show this past Saturday night, and this show was loaded with championship matches. As a matter of fact, they had a total of 5 championship matches. Had a tremendous 4-way for the X Division title, with Leon Slater successfully retained against Dante Leon, Man Like DeReese, and Marcus Mathers. But the big story coming out of this one, the show started with Steve Macklin, and it ended with Steve Macklin, as Steve Macklin would successfully defend his international championship against Damian Chambers. But during the show, Myron Reed attacked one Rich Swann, who was supposed to be challenging for the championship that night, the Revolver title. However, that match got thrown out. Myron laid out an open challenge, and Steve Macklin stepped up to the plate to challenge. Of course, unfortunately, he was unsuccessful. B-roll, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think I'm starting to like Steve Macklin. What the hell? I think I'm starting to like Steve Macklin.
I guess, like, once maybe you get him out of the shell of TNA, you can
Actually pretty enjoyable. I love his stuff in
kinda,
Revolver.
kind of see what he can do, but still, he's married to Deanna Praza, so that's not fair. And yeah, still don't like
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Well, also another big show this past weekend for all you deathmatch fans, the Tournament of Tournaments. CCW's Tournament of Death 22 took place this past Saturday, and from what I've seen of it, holy shit! Like,
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah, it's crazy, it's chaotic. Um, Nick Gage was in this tournament, making his return to the Tournament of Death. Of course, you have Mickey Knuckles, who ran last year's Tournament of Death. But there could be only one winner of Tournament Death, and we got to give congratulations to Slack, who won this year's Tournament of Death. You can actually catch a replay of this on if you have the app IWTV. It is. I don't think it's quite available yet, but it should be available this week. One other thing I want to note about this show as well. On the undercard, they had the first ever Tarp of Death Invitational, and it was fucking nuts. This I did actually see, and it's literally they had like a tarp laid out with all sorts of weapons, and then just it was nuts. It was insane. If you love deathmatch wrestling, it's definitely the show of the week. Hell, the show of the year probably for you. Was CCW's Tournament of Death. But like I say, you can catch a replay, or we'll be able to catch a replay of that on the IWTV app. Now let's talk about Ring of Honor from this past week, and we were lucky to get not one but two shows. Of course, ROH on Honor Club. We got to see Athena in action. And of course, she once again retains her championship. We're going to talk about that here in a moment because she reached something monumental happened for her at the ROH on Honor Club show. Wheeler Yuta was in action against John Silver as well. And Katsura Shibata against Jordan Oliver was an awesome matchup. But as great as the Honor Club show was, we got to talk about their special episode they had on YouTube this past week. And I'm telling you, they've been doing this lately here. Like every other week, they do one on YouTube, and it's freaking loaded shows, man. Like you had ARR Fox and the Kingdom kick it off to go up against the Frat House. You had Deanna Purrazzo in action against Rachel Ellering in a Pure Rules match, followed by Trish Adora in action in a Pure Rules match against Ashley Fox. Johnny TV one-on-one with Alex Sane. And then, of course, you had the Beast Mortos in action as well against Jordan Oliver, which was an awesome. And I'm just so happy Jordan Oliver is like you're seeing him more and more on ROH TV. Speaking of another guy that's on ROH a lot here recently, has been Beef, as Beef was in action with his tag team partner LSG going up against the Don Callis family. And of course, in the main event, you had Bandito against Lee Johnson in a Proving Ground matchup, and cousin Blake, old Blake Christian, would get involved in this one at the end of it. Of course, Bandito picking up the win. And you can catch that on YouTube. But we mentioned it earlier, Athena hit a milestone this past week in Ring of Honor as she has officially reached 1,000 days as your Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. And she's now the longest reigning Ring of Honor champion of anybody. And of course, because of that, Athena is our Wrestler of the Week this week here on PW60. I mean, is there anything the Fallen Goddess can't do, B-Roy?
Can't win the AEW Women's Champion.
That was a dick move. Anyways.
Well, you asked,
Yeah.
but I was pulling for her. But like you said though, these special episodes that they've been doing on YouTube for Ring of Honor, they have been fire.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been really good. Like they're nice little samplers. I tell you, like the Ring of Honor, man, I've been impressed here with them the past month. The shows are really good. They're really solid. It's just great, fun, solid, good pro wrestling action. So if you're not doing so, go check them out. Well, my friend, it's that time of the show where we spice things up a bit. So let's go to our good friend Spicy Guac with a spicy take.
Okay, so here's the thing about all of these titles, championships, belts, straps, whatever you want to call them, specifically in AEW, because there are some that are still sitting on a shelf somewhere waiting to be debuted, like women's tag, women's trio, legacy titles, weird things, and like we already have the Owen Hart. We already have the Continental Classic, which, by the way, is super underrated. Like, the round-robin tournaments themselves, I geek out for. Also shout out Konosuke Takeshita for winning that G1 Climax, boy. My thing is, at this point, there's already enough pay-per-views, and there's more to be added, and I'm sure there's going to be 13 or 14 in a year when AEW decides to, I don't know, I guess get serious and start competing with other people. Just make them centered around that, like how some people have Money in the Bank for Money in the Bank, when Money in the Bank was, just a thing, or TLC when that was a whole thing, or Hell in a Cell, which I don't even know if that's a pay-per-view anymore. It could be, maybe. I think so. Yeah, it is. It wouldn't really deviate or, I guess, take away from the product if they did like just a 3-hour tournament style for, tag champs or legacies or whatever. I mean, it'd be something different. I mean, there's gonna be people that don't like it anyway, but oh no, my demons, send help.
Thank you so much, Spicy. And speaking of AEW, man, a lot of things happened this past week, but this is one of the bigger ones too. Tony Khan officially announcing that Bryan Danielson will join the commentary team full time going forward. So we can expect to hear the American Dragon on AEW telecast, which I'm for it, man. I think that's cool as hell. It's something cool to have Danielson do. And I mean, is he like a Jim Ross or anything like that? No, of course not. But I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed Bryan Danielson's commentary so far. What do you think of the American Dragon on color?
I mean, definitely he has a wealth of knowledge that he can give to the commentary table. But I'm sitting here looking at this and I'm like, what are you up to? So I know he's supposed to be retired from his full time wrestling
I know he
career.
was just doing some promotional stuff on Grand Slam Australia, and like in some interviews, he pretty much just said more or less like he's pretty content. He doesn't really have any other bucket list items for him. So I don't know. Maybe this is me naive in thinking this because never say never in the world of pro wrestling. But I think the American Dragon's in ring days are behind him, and that's fine because I mean he had one of the best careers of all time, and he should be happy and healthy and at peace with his family and enjoy the rest of his life. He shouldn't have to put his body what he already has put it through. So I'm for it, man. I'm for it. I think it'll be pretty cool to see him on commentary and how that goes going forward. Now, this came out this week. Arez has officially signed with with AEW. There was an offer there with the WWE, but apparently he ended up going with All Elite Wrestling. And if you aren't familiar with him, a very talented wrestler. We had the privilege of seeing him multiple times in GCW. Matter of fact, I think he's actually going to be competing this Saturday, maybe at the show we're going to be at. So, but nonetheless, he is officially All Elite, and all signs are pointing towards this is Hologram's clown. Don't tell anybody I told you. But bro. Anyways, I think he'll do awesome in AEW. Honestly, and I think that'll be some
Don't
tremendous
they call him
match.
the King of Strange Style or something like that?
Yeah, Yeah, he's a badass through and through. So, but congratulations to him. It's going to be awesome to see what he can do in All Elite Wrestling. And this past week, the 2300 Arena officially hung the banner of Taz as he was added to the Hall of Fame of great competitors that's competed in the ECW arena throughout the years. So it was pretty cool moment. And Taz specifically requested, hey, I just want it to be off the air. I don't really want it to be on TV. I just want it to kind of be a special moment. I respect him for that, man. I think that's pretty cool. But Taz, you know me, Taz is always one of my all-time favorites. One of my favorite pro wrestlers of all time. Guy deserves it, man. I mean, his run in ECW. I mean, he's easily on the Mount Rushmore as far as I'm concerned. If you're talking ECW wrestlers, so congratulations to Taz. You truly deserve it, good sir. And man, this was huge news too, as well. That kind of just came out of left field. We want to wish here at PW6. We want to wish Maxwell Jacob Freeman and Alicia Tout congratulations, as they got married this past week. B-roll, could you believe this? I thought first this was kind of a joke or or something, but no, this is official. They are Mr. and Mrs. Friedman now. Yeah. Can you believe it?
MJF and Tits McGee, can't believe it.
Yeah, it was a match made in heaven. I heard it was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. The cool thing is about this B-roll is one of our own was actually a guest at the wedding. Yeah, yeah. It just so happens to be our good buddy, the Best Scout Machine, was at the wedding and on hand at the wedding. So, with that being said, let's go to the Best Scout Machine with a special report talking about this monumental occasion.
Love is in the air, everywhere look around. Yes, folks, MJF and Alicia Tout has gotten married. Yes, P-Dub City. I want to come here and just talk about the love and the Guess who? It's I, Marty Hyman, and I'm here to talk about wedded bliss, wedded bells, getting diabetes from old wedding cake that has lard in the frosting. Also, hey, Alicia Tout! Alicia Tout! It is I, Marty Hyman, and I wish to have a word with you. Alicia! Once again, it is I, Marty Hyman. I got a personal question to ask you about your new husband, the groom himself, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Delicious Friedman. I gotta ask you, he's circumcised, right? Not talking about racial stuff or religion. I'm just saying he's been snipped, right? Do you have the location of his snip? It is imperative, Alicia Tout, that you tell me where Maxwell Jacob Friedman's snip is at. It's very important. It could mean the end of the world if I do not get my hands on his snip, a.k.a. foreskin. The snip. It is written in the stars that me and Maxwell Jacob Friedman go forth and use his snip in order to not make a portal going into the underverse to unleash all sorts of hell upon us, which involve, but also including, killer urinals. They have fangs and teeth, and they try to snip you even more than you already is. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, I need you to help me. I forgot where I am. Does this place have a breakfast buffet? So what do you say, Alicia Tout? Tout Friedman. Your last name now is Friedman. I need you to help me get his snipper. Get back here, you son of a... Oh, he's already out the window. Why doesn't he go through the door? Oh, God, he's stuck. Oh, Oh, he's squeezing out. Oh my, is that sweat or did he cover himself? He covered himself up with Vaseline before he got here. The biggest hips I'd ever seen on a grown man. What the hell is this? Is that a movie? Is that going on streaming? Okay, XLJ and B-Roll and maybe Duplicius. I don't even know who's here. Can someone help me figure what's happening? This is not going to be this year's thing, okay? We are not doing an Indiana Jones themed thing with Marty, all right? We already did the brother, and then we did the alternate universe. We're not doing Indiana Jones.
I got nothing. Like Marty, like I swear he is like a hemorrhoid. Just when we think we got rid of him, he's back at it again, and now he wants MJF's. Never mind.
We might. I mean, we might need to look into taking legal action and maybe getting a restraining order. Like,
Oh, I think
Marty,
yeah,
like,
yeah. We'll get with HR with Cole TV and get that taken care of. So yeah. Oh well, thank you, Best Gal. I'm assuming you had a good time at MJF's wedding. So thank God Marty wasn't there. I'm just saying. Well, we got some more incredible action to talk about that happened this past weekend in the world of independent wrestling. And I tell you what, this show right here, for my money, I think was my favorite show of the weekend. B-roll. Aussie Wrestling's 11 took place this past Saturday in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I tell you, dude, this show was dope, man. To say the, I mean, it was everything about it was awesome. Like, first of all, shout out to Big Swole. I forgot how much I miss her. Like, her on commentary was just chef's kiss. But dude, this show top to bottom was really good. Of course, going into it, we would crown a new Aussie Wrestling Women's Champion. Of course, there was one more qualifier matchup that took place to get to the Fatal 4-Way main event, and Maya World would defeat Aaliyah James to get that spot. But in that main event, for the Aussie Women's Championship in the finals in a fatal 4-way, Charity King would be victorious as she would defeat Maya World, Karen Renee, and Savannah Evans to become the inaugural Aussie Wrestling Women's Champion, dude. Great matchup, man. Great 4-way. Like, it was honestly flip the coin, like with how the back and forth was going on it. Like, it was amazing. Also on the show, man, the Pan African World Championship was on the line too. And this matchup, outside of the women's matches, honestly, was probably my favorite. As you had Isaiah Bronner, who we're pretty familiar with, who we've seen him a lot here in the Indianapolis area. Of course, the Naptown Pro Champion. Shout out there. But he would unsuccessfully challenge, as he would be defeated by your champion, Khan, which, holy shit, like, dude, like, the match itself was awesome, but just, like, everything about him, like, he's a freaking star, dude. Like, you got to check this show out. It's available on YouTube. But Bishop Khan, man, oh my gosh. And yes, the same Bishop Khan from Gates of Agony. But I'm telling you, like, you watch him on this, and it's like, whoa. Like, why is Tony Khan not pushing him as, like, a main event guy? Because he was a badass on this show. So, but seriously, go check him out. You can catch a free replay of their show on their YouTube channel. Also, this past weekend, Rev Pro held their Live in London '99 show, which was a solid effort. Of course, you had some tremendous matches. Trent Seven against Robbie X was a great matchup. Also, you had Lycos Jim, who those guys, man, have been killing it over in the UK here recently, going up against Mills and Joshua. And also, we shouted her out last week. Of course, I'll say it and preach it from the tops of the mountains. Riho was in action as well, and not to be confused with Rio from AEW. Just saying. So, But I believe you can catch a replay of this, or at least see some highlights on RevPro's social media um, uh, platforms that they're on. So, also speaking of shows that happened this past weekend, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling was back at it again with their Sacred Ground show. Now we were going to go ahead and give you the results to this, but they officially announced that this show will be premiering this Thursday as the first show on their YouTube channel. So you can catch the entire show in its entirety this Thursday on their YouTube channel. A lot of big matches on this one. Of course, Josh Alexander defending that Maple Leaf Pro title against TJP. Giselle Shaw defending the Women's Championship against Priscilla Kelly, and the Good Brothers in action as well. But you can check it out this Thursday on their YouTube channel, and next week we'll have the results for you here on PW60. But another great promotion. Of course, Scott D'Amore doing incredible things with this company. And we got another update for you in the Dream Star Grand Prix in Marigold that's going on right now all through the month of September. So, to give you an update, in the Dream League, we have Utami Hayashita with 9 points, as well as Victoria Yasuki. And then immediately after them is Mayo Iwatani with 8 points. Then you got Koyuka Amari and Sarah Yamaoka with 6 points. So pretty tight race there. Look for Mayo Iwatani to make them run there. But those top 3, man, that's gonna be hard to beat. But also, let's talk about over on the Star League. You got Miku Anoi. I apologize. I know I probably butchered that. With 9 points, and Maya Sakura with 8. Then Mira and Nagoshi Nosaki 7, and Misa Matsui with 6 points. I think we got like 2 more shows, I want to say, coming up, and then 2 or 3 at least, I believe. And then we'll figure out and see who is going to walk away with the Marigold Dream Star tournament this year. So, actually, I think it's 2. I want to say, like, at least until you get to the finals. So, also this past weekend in the world of Japan, Yuji Nagata wrestled Hiroshi Tanahashi for the last time in a singles matchup, as this took place at the annual Blue Justice show. Of course, Tanahashi would pick up the win. It's just amazing Nagata's still going, man. Nagata's such a badass. I swear, those, like, I think he's going to wrestle till he's 100. But great matchup, and it was great. I'm glad that they got to wrestle at least one last time, because I mean they've had some tremendous matches over the years. But New Japan is heating up because very shortly here we got Destruction in Kobe is coming up at the end of the month. We got a lot of big matches on this one. Of course, the IWGP Championship's on the line with Zack Sabre Jr. defending against Ren Narita. Also, the global title's up for grabs as well, with Gabe Kidd defending against Shingo Takagi. You got a big one-on-one matchup with Yota Tsuji and David Finlay. And speaking of big one-on-ones, how about Hiromi going up against oh my God, I am drawing a blank. Bone Soldier. I can't think of his name. I apologize. But and there's some other matches on this show as well. I know Bolton Oleg will defend the Never Open title against the former Bad Luck Fale. What is he, Don Fale now? Oh, fucking House of Torture. But that show will be coming up here in a couple weeks. We'll have some results for that for you here on PW60. And also coming up, we've got MLW's Fightland will be taking place this Saturday. Coming to you live from Dallas, Texas. A lot going on because this is a big one, B-roll, because this is the start of the Opera Cup, which is the oldest tournament in pro wrestling. Can you believe that? Over 100 years old. Yeah. In action, you're going to see Blue Panther Jr. go up against Sandokan Jr., also Folador Jr. against Titan, and then Ultimo Guerrero will go against Esfingi, and Austin Aries and Kushida all in first round action. Of course, some of those matches you'll be able to see on the show this Saturday. Some of them will be taped for the TV tapings for MLW. Also, we got Shotzi Blackheart will be in action this Saturday as well. Big matchup. Speaking of the women's division, big matchup for the MLW World Women's Featherweight Championship with Shoko Yakajima defending against Yuka Kamafuku. And the MLW World Middleweight titles on the line, as well as Templero against Ikiro Kwan. And the MLW Championship will be up for grabs with Matt Riddle defending against Donovan Dijak. Please let this be a Dijak hijack for the love of God. We need this so bad because this is going to transition into our next fucking story. Well, you're going to get me on another rant this week here on PW60. Last week you had me with that piece of shit Jake Hager, but somehow you've got an even bigger piece of shit here in Matt fucking Riddle. And what did Matt Riddle do exactly? Well, I'll tell you what he did. He no-showed a show for charity. And on top of that, he's fucking backpedaling, trying to make up stories. Matt Riddle, you are the scum of the earth. You're a piece of shit. I never understood the whole thing with him. Like, I just don't get him. I mean, there's even like proof here too. There's like a long, elaborate like explanation of this. Like he's saying because like they were booking him for other things or something, and he didn't want to wait in a hotel room. And then he was saying because he couldn't get like food on it or meals on his plane or something. Then he went on a rant on CM Punk and AJ Lee. It's just like, dude, quit smoking the fucking reefer, man. Or like you're on something else too. But I'm not the only one who's got thoughts on this piece of shit. Let's go to our good friend Husky Rhodes with a hot take. This is gonna be good.
PW60, what up? It's Husky Rhodes, and Matt Riddle's a piece of shit. Like, dude, everything that this man is doing right now is what normal people like to call projection. You're just projecting all of your bullshit onto everybody else. For example, the whole thing with calling CM Punk a creep because he's like mentoring Roxanne Perez and like was helping out Elena Black when she was in WWE. Last time I checked, CM Punk was never Me Too'd. Like you were. And also, no showing a charity event and then lying saying it was never supposed to be a charity event, even though the person putting it on explicitly said it was a charity event in a promo before you were even announced to be there. Like, dude, do the world a favor and start a shotgun already. Like, dude, just admit your career's over and go fuck
Well, I couldn't say it better myself. Thank you, Husky. Let's talk about OVW Rise from this past Thursday, man. This was a great show. And you know what's cool, B-Roll, is you can catch OVW Rise every Thursday on their YouTube channel. But some tremendous matches and moments happened this past week. First of all, we've got new OVW Tag Team Champions, as Level 3 would defeat the trifecta for the Tag Team Championship, and they are your new OVW Tag Champions. But the main event, it's our match of the week here on PW60 with Cal Hero defending the OVW Championship against Star Rider. We've had the privilege of watching both of these guys, and both are tremendous competitors. This match delivered and then some. It's an awesome matchup, man. Like words can't do it enough justice. It's our match of the week here on PW60. Go check it out on OVW's YouTube channel. You can catch Rise, like I say, every Thursday on OVW's YouTube channel. We got some updates for some matches just signed recently for some upcoming GCW shows. Of course, GCW will be back in Arizona on September the 19th, and they've signed Effie to defend the GCW title against Jack Cartwheel. Also, speaking of that weekend, big weekend for Homecoming will take place in LA on the 20th. And it's official, KJ Orso and Sam Stackhouse will meet inside of a steel cage. That has potential for match of the year candidate. I'm telling you right there. That's probably been my favorite feud of the year so far, honestly, in all wrestling. Also, some matches added to GCW's Evil Deeds, which will be coming to you from Detroit this Friday. Got Matt Tremont and the Bev teaming up to take on the Koga brothers. And Los Desperados taking on Bang and Matthews, the Boisterous Behavior, and Joey Janela and Marcus Mathers in a big four-way matchup. But this one is near and dear to us because we will be here live this Saturday at the Rumble on the River at the White River State Park in Indianapolis, and just signed. It's official for the GCW Championship. Effie will defend against Billy Starks. Also, Matt Cardona will go against Spider Nate Webb. Already with a tremendous card. We will have a vlog for you that here in the coming weeks on PW60. Cannot wait for this Saturday. It's going to be an awesome show, to say the least. Speaking of awesome shows, this is really cool, man. Cannonball Fest will be coming up here on September the 14th. This is really cool because this is a charity event for Jeff Cannonball's fight against ALS. So all the funds will go towards him. Tremendous card, man, that they've got here announced. A lot of great talent, too. Tony Deppen going up against Willow Nightingale will take place. Also, Matt Tremont against Speedball Mike Bailey? That's going to be freaking wild. Joey Janela going up against Megan Bain. Mike Santana against Bear Bronson. I mean, just take my money now. And also, MJF's going to be making a special appearance on this show as well. Tickets for this show are still available on Eventbrite. You can go and check that out. And it's that time of the show. Let's talk about some more indie wrestling because you know we love our indie wrestling. And we got to go to our wrestling expert, one Michael J. Duplessis, who's got an indie report about some other cool shows you should be checking out. So let's go to Mike.
What up, y'all? It's boy MJ Duplessis here with another independent wrestling report. First off, we have Prestige Wrestling and West Coast Pro presents Strength Beyond Strength, November 7th. Doors open at 6 p.m. Bow time is at 7 p.m. Doors is at 6. Bell is at 7. PrestigeWrestling.net for tickets and information. Second, we have 360 Pro presents Cowtown Showdown. Saturday, November 1st at the James Hudson Arena. 5931 Rendon Bloodworth Road in Fort Worth, Texas. Call 254-913-4927 for more information and tickets. Thirdly, we have Action Championship Wrestling. Presents Salisbury Slam in Salisbury, Maryland. Bell time is at 8 p.m. ACWTIX.com for tickets and information. And lastly, we have Fight Club Pro Wrestling presents 6 Feet Deep. Sunday, October 26th, 3608 Legion Drive in Cheverly, Maryland. Fight Club Pro Wrestling on all social medias for tickets and information on that.
Well, there you go. Just some of the amazing shows you can catch in the world of independent wrestling. Well, this was a big announcement. Tetsu Naito and Bushi will be returning to the ring on September the 27th as part of the Pro Wrestling Grand Prix. Now, this is a show put over in Germany, but notice the name here, Los Tranquilos de Japan. So, is this being... I mean, I knew Naito was kind of finished up with New Japan, but I thought he was just taking time off for an injury. Does this mean, like, the Uncomfortable one? Are we going to see him in the ring here, like, this soon? Or does this mean, could he show up, like, another... Like, I'm fascinated. I'm floored by this news. First and foremost, I hope, like, his health's okay, because I know he did have a lot of health issues, especially with his eye. But man, oh man, like, dude, like, I may have to go to Germany just to see the Uncomfortable one in action. Holy shit. Huge news, though, but that's going to be an amazing, I'm sure, an amazing show and weekend of events there. Speaking of amazing shows, AEW has officially announced September to Remember will take place on September the 17th in London, Ontario. Of course, this is right before All Out. Like, I love the name. Of course, a big throwback to ECW's November to Remember past. So, Absolutely love the name. And man, the go home show before All Out, you know it's going to be huge. We'll see what happens there. And finally, or an AEW, that is, we got to talk about this. It looks like they're looking to do one more residency to kind of round out the year, and it looks like they may be running at the Hammerstein Ballroom again here at the end of the year, which makes sense. You could probably do Final Battle there. So, uh, I mean, Hammerstein Ballroom, it's a phenomenal venue. It's like one of the best places to do a pro wrestling show. So, hell yeah, let's do it. Go ahead and sign it up. And lastly, we've got our indie spotlight. We always like to highlight a special show, event, company, wrestler. And this week we want to talk about Full Queer Wrestling. They had a big show this past week where they teamed up with West Coast Pro. They had their Moonlight show. And they've got a big show coming up here at the end of the month as well. Our good friend Sienna Chanel does a lot of work with Full Queer Wrestling. So if you're following her, you can get a lot of information on that company out there in California. But there are Indie Spotlight. If you're not following them, go check them out. Go look at their stuff. I mean, I've watched it mainly through like Sienna. Like she does an amazing job with her social media presence and the announcing she does. But they put on some really good shows, man. So they do these shows where they're like in a library and stuff, and it's like gotta be really quiet. So it's awesome. Just check them out. Check out Full Queer Wrestling. They are our Indie Spotlight this week here on Pro Wrestling 60. Well, we did it again, B-Roll. We've talked about everything that's happened this past week in the world of pro wrestling. And it's going to be another big week upcoming, of course. As we're on the road to All Out, we'll see what's going to happen there. Got some other tremendous indie shows coming up here as well. So much going on. Just not enough time to cover it. But somehow we do it in 60 minutes or 60 minutes-ish. Let's go wrap it up for this episode of Pro Wrestling 60. I'm Xlj the OG along with Mr. B-Roll. We'll see you next time on another episode of PW60. Everybody take care. Have a great week. Bye.